So, friends, when we talk about goal setting, you all have read many theories. You being generally the part of the commerce and management background, definitely you have gone through various goal setting theories. One acronym which I share with the students, which I formulated, is VGPA, Vision, Goal, Plan, and Action. By vision, I mean to say that what is your overall vision or orientation towards life that you need to visualize. Like, how do you visualize yourself after 5 to 7 years? Then, after your vision is clear, you need to have your goals. So, the goals are the units which are translated and the goals which you feel are practical. So the vision have to be translated into goals which are practical goals. And then planning is also very important. Planning is important. How do you reach and achieve your goals is very important. And your action again is very important. So you will not achieve success if you do not act. So friends, therefore it is important that you have this vision, goal, plan, and action very much clear. And then it is also important that how do we align our goals with the requirements of the society. Friends, we all know India is trying to become a Viksit Bharat. Our Honorable Prime Minister, sir, has given this very ambitious target, and definitely this is achievable of becoming a Viksit Bharat, a developed nation by 2047. But it is not possible to achieve if each one of us does not contribute. So, therefore, it is very much important that each one of us align our goals, our vision, our actions, and our plan with the requirements of the society. Look around and see what is required in the society and how do you innovate, how do you take a step which can align with the requirements of the society. That is very important. The next and the sixth pointer which I would like to mention is your determination, resilience, and perseverance is very, very important. Your determination, resilience, and perseverance. Read about the example of Florence Chadwick. Florence Chadwick, way back in 1952, she set the goal. She was an American swimmer and she set the goal to swim across the chilly waters of English Channel. And friends, despite facing dense fog, frigid temperatures, and definitely we all know the environment, she was very, very Despite the challenges, she succeeded in achieving her goal and she became the first woman ever to swim across the English Channel in both the directions, forward and backward. So, your determination, your resilience, your perseverance, that is, friends, very, very important. And that is actually going to determine whether you will be successful in what you give yourself the target. The seventh pointer is avoiding procrastination and effective time management. This is very, very important, friends. You, as a student, you need to develop this habit of avoiding procrastination. And how do we manage time effectively? That is very, very important. You may have your daily planners, you may have your weekly planners. There are various now tools also, techniques also available. For example, Pomodoro technique. For example, Eisenhower metrics. यू ऑल हैव रेड अबाउट दिस बट व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इज कि हम किस तरीके से जो दिन के 24 घंटे हैं या हफ्ते के 7 दिन हैं उसमें हमारी जो डेडलाइंस हैं डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स को लेके हमारे जो टाइमली सबमिशंस हैं या हमारे एग्जाम को लेके जो हमारी तैयारी है वो हम इफेक्टिवली कैसे करें उसके लिए इफेक्टिव टाइम मैनेजमेंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड फ्रेंड्स बिलीव मी इफ यू लर्न दिस technique of effective time management, you will actually be a successful person in your professional and personal life as well. Because we everybody we see कि जो भी लोग अचीव नहीं कर पा रहे हैं उनको ये एक सेम कॉज है कि दे ऑल कंप्लेन दैट वी आर नॉट हैविंग सफिशिएंट टाइम. ये एग्जाम में हम कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाए, क्वेश्चन पेपर पूरा नहीं कर पाए, स्टूडेंट्स ये कंप्लेंट करते हैं. सो देयरफॉर दिस प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन, अगर ये हैबिट आप अभी से ही इस पे ध्यान देंगे, definitely it will help you further in your professional and personal life. Friends, the eighth pointer which I would like to emphasize here is your values and character building. You have lot of targets, you have lot of ambitions, you have a vision, goal. Everything is very good. But your internal strength, your moral character, your moral fiber, that is actually going to help you to sustain through these adversities. टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल महात्मा गांधी जी. महात्मा गांधी जी ने जब हमारे स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन का लीड लिया, there were so many challenges, but he stick to his values. जो उनका values था, non violence, truth, सत्य, justice, ahimsa, he stick to that. You may feel that in today's world, not everything is practically possible, but still there has to be a moral fabric built within each one of us. The moral fabric of empathy, of compassion, humanity. We as human beings have to have these things within our own selves. So this is, friends, very, very important. The ninth and a very important aspect which I have been requesting the students is the positive self belief. आपका खुद के ऊपर विश्वास. And friends, if you don't believe yourself, nobody else would. Nobody else around you would believe if you do not believe yourself. So therefore, it is very, very important that you believe in yourself. So these are the 9 pointers which I formulated when I was discussing, when I was thinking that what should I be talking about uh, when I'm discussing this. How do you identify your X factor? How do you have that thing developing within your own self? And I will repeat it for all of you just as a crux. So, the first pointer which I mentioned was acknowledging and embracing the setbacks. The second is analyzing and improvising. The third is using setbacks as motivation. The fourth and very important is embracing failure as a tool for growth. The fifth point is setting your goals very clearly. Goal setting should be very clear and aligning your goals with the needs and requirements of the society. The sixth pointer is your determination, resilience, and perseverance. That is very, very important. The seventh is avoiding procrastination and effective time management. The eighth and definitely very important is your values and character building. Ninth and again very important aspect in your personality is positive self belief. So, friends, if you kind of work upon all of these, if not together, ये हो सकता है कि आपको कंफ्यूजन हो कि हम एक साथ कैसे करें, बट ये हो सकता है कि आपको पार्ट पार्ट में जब आप कॉन्शियसली इसमें थोड़ा टाइम देंगे, you will definitely be able to move step further, and that is what will determine that how closer you are reaching up to your goal, how closer you are reaching up to your targets which you have given to yourself. So therefore it is actually maybe pushing beyond the perceived limitations. It is actually pushing beyond the perceived limitations, and it's about rewriting the narrative. One courageous step at a time is very important. Rewriting the narrative and one courageous step at a time, friends, is very important. Just to briefly mention about my journey, even though in bits and pieces I have mentioned it already. So, I come from a family which has been based in Panipat, Haryana, but my education has been in Delhi. When I was doing my graduation from Shriram College way back in 2003, I was in my last year of graduation, and that is the time when I read about civil services. By that time, I had already completed my two stages of company secretary's examination, and I was about to enter the प्रोफेशनल करियर, बिकॉज मेरा प्लेसमेंट भी थर्ड ईयर में कॉलेज की तरफ से दो अच्छी एमएनसीज में हो गया था. बट जब मैंने सिविल सर्विसेज के बारे में पढ़ा तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि आई हैव टू काइंड ऑफ बी देयर, बिकॉज दिस विल गिव मी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी of serving the people and do something more meaningful for the society. But then, friends, when I discussed this with my parents, with my family, so nobody agreed readily, and there were a lot of apprehensions because एक तो हमारी family में लड़कियों को इतना कभी पढ़ाया नहीं गया था, like making them getting educated till graduation was the maximum which was being done. And secondly, civil services selection is never sure shot, because if we see the data, like 10 lakh plus aspirants fill the prelims form and the selection is in few hundreds. And if we talk about services like IS, IPS, the selection is hardly 200 to 250 seats per year. So usme selection hoga, nahi hoga, and then how many years you will invest, and keeping at stake your other career path, because मेरा mind में था कि मैं professional career join करूंगी. So there were a lot of discussions and debates, and then it took me almost 5-6 months to convince my parents. And then when my father was convinced, then Papa said, "Ki, okay, if you want to do, you should always have a plan B in your life." So by plan B, he meant that if you're not able to clear civil services, then what is it that you will do? So I took his advice. मैंने अपना CS मेरा by that time was already complete. I took admission into LLB. I appeared for my LLB entrance from Delhi University. My classes, physical classes started. I also started my part-time job as a company secretary because I always felt कि एक तो professional experience कुछ कुछ होना चाहिए, and I should also finance my higher studies to an extent, if not fully. So I took this part-time job. I was doing my law classes, and simultaneously I started my civil services preparation. Friends, it was not easy because तीन चीजें मैनेज करना एक साथ में बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. And all said and done, there was a lot of societal pressure also, because family में relatives घर पे आते थे, तो I was not meeting them, and there were kind of taunts also coming to my parents कि अभी ये इतना क्या पढ़ेंगी, she's already graduate, she's already professionally qualified, let her be married, and then after marriage also she can give this examination if she wants to give. So there were a lot of things which were there, and आई थिंक इट वॉज माई कमिटमेंट कि मुझे करना था. सो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में, जैसे मैंने अपना स्टोरी में बताया, दैट आई कुड नॉट क्लियर इन माई फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, इट वॉज इन माई सेकेंड अटेम्प्ट दैट I got selected. In May 2008, my results were announced, and then I joined my academy training, Labasna, Masuri. And in December 2008, our cadres were allotted. That time it was a roster system, and I was allotted to Manipur Tripura cadre. And then I joined Tripura after completion of my training in June 2009. I joined immediately after my marriage, and it was like completely different shift for me. क्योंकि जो लड़की दिल्ली एनसीआर में रही हो, हरियाणा का ही पूरा कल्चर देखा हो, for her shifting to a very distant place which was remotely located. Definitely Tripura people are very loving. They gave me a lot of respect also. But yes, I would not hesitate in saying it was not easy for me to settle there, and more so being staying alone there, because my husband's job was here. He was working in Gurgaon at that time, and it was not easy. But I think मेरा जो motivation है to kind of keep contributing to the country, keep contributing to the nation, that actually helped me going forward. And then 8 years I worked in Tripura. Then I came to Haryana on intercadre deputation. I worked in Haryana for 4 years. I worked for people, with people in field. Then I again joined back Tripura. Right now I am based in Delhi. ये जो 16 years plus now हो गए हैं मुझे civil services में after selection, और उससे पहले की अगर मैं जर्नी देखूं तो it is now almost like I would say 20 years that I have been associated with civil services in some form or the other. So friends, this journey has taught me a lot of things, that things will never come to you served on your platter. You will have to have lot of fights with within your own self. And if we talk about civil services, there is a paraphernalia in which the civil servants work. Like I always tell the aspirants, ki civil services selection is comparatively easier, and survival there, and contributing there with the aim and ambition with which you are aspiring to be there, it is very, very difficult. There is a dynamic paraphernalia of media, judiciary, civil society organizations, NGOs. So there are various stakeholders now around, and especially after the social media, things have become quite vulnerable also. So officers also, like, in a way, transparency has improvised. That is good actually. But all said and done, in any field, it is not only about civil services. In any field, whether you want to be a management professional, whether you want to be an HR professional, you want to be a CACS, anything which you are aspiring for, challenges to rahenge, but how do we overcome those challenges will actually determine your success. And friends, uh, my personal cosmic code, because there are some pointers which I shared with you, but मेरा सिलेक्शन के टाइम में भी जब इंटरव्यू पब्लिश हुआ था, I was few days back, I was while I was cleaning my home space. So I caught hold of that magazine in which my interview was published. उस time social media ऐसे नहीं था, तो we were not having so many channels and all to cover. So some magazine interview read upon, and उसमें वो 4 P's ही जो मैं आज भी students को बोलती हूँ. Those 4 P's were written way back in 2008 also in my interview, which I will again reiterate for all of you. The 4 P's are passion, patience, perseverance, and positive outlook. Passion is very much important because just as stars take million of years to shine their brightest, success also takes time. And success takes time, therefore, your patience has to be always there to keep you driving. Passion is definitely required because the fire to serve your nation, the fire to do something different, that fire, that passion, that ignition has to be there within your own self. And then definitely the perseverance is very, very important because even when gravity pulled me down during preparation time, gravity has pulled me down during my different phases of career as an IAS officer, more so as a woman IAS officer. But I kept pushing upward because I knew that every trial was shaping my growth trajectory. So every trial is shaping your growth trajectory. Therefore, that perseverance is very, very important. And then fourth P is positive self-belief. The belief that yes, I am made of the same elements of like other achievers, but yes, I have something unique in my own self, and that something unique in your own self is for me, it is my courage, it is my belief in myself, and my zeal to never stop. And friends, my WhatsApp status since last many years, these are 4 words which I always have reminded me of my own self also. That is my WhatsApp status, and it reads is challenge your own limits. So challenge your own limits is something which I have been following, and that is by my life mantra. ये मुझे किसी ने बोला नहीं है, ये खुद ही ये जो शब्द हैं ये मैंने अपने लिए बनाए, और काफी सालों से ये मेरे व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस का यही मैसेज है, चैलेंज योर ओन लिमिट्स. सो फ्रेंड्स, we are made of star stuff. You're all having that star stuff, and we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. And the जो हम बात करते हैं, जो टॉपिक आज का है, बहुत यूनिक टॉपिक है, द कॉस्मिक थॉटस्केप. It is within each one of you, and it is now your thoughts to dare to question, to have that ability to identify what is your thoughtscape, what is your uniqueness. And you have to keep asking yourself this question, that how brightly will you shine when the night is the darkest? I'll repeat this question for you all, that how brightly will you shine when the night is the darkest? Meaning thereby, when you have a severe kind of a failure or a challenge, how will you overcome? That is actually very, very important. And friends, as students, you are the future change makers. We all know India dreaming to become Viksit Bharat, and India is the youngest country in the world. So you are the demographic dividend of this country. So your ideas are your galaxies, your resilience is your orbit, and your purpose is your light. I will repeat, friends, for all of you. Your ideas are your galaxies, your resilience is your orbit, and your purpose is your light. So keep expanding your thoughtscape and do not just reach the stars, but reach every area, every limit of the sky which you aspire for. And friends, believe me, आपको ये लगेगा, कई बार लगेगा कि ये नहीं हो रहा, लेकिन उसी टाइम पे अपने आप को वो कॉन्फिडेंस देना है कि नो, आई हैव टू डू दिस एंड आई कैन डू दिस. सो हैव दैट बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ, लीड विद इनोवेशन, लीड विद करेज. डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम सर के कोट से मैं अपने इस टॉक को एंड करना चाहूंगी. He always believed in the power of youth, and sir had in one of his speeches he very beautifully said that India, being the youngest country in this world, and me having the ambition, love, and passion for my country, I cannot aim to have a small dream. So, sir very beautifully said that we cannot aim to have a small dream because we love our country. We all have that passion. We all have that courage and ignition within each one of us. So, what is important is that keep driving your efforts, keep innovating, keep believing in yourself. That is all very important. So, with these words, I would like to end my talk here. It's already 12:10 around. I don't think I have a time for question, but I still hand over to the moderator of the session. Uh, how do you want to take this forward? And thank you so much for inviting me here. And my best wishes to the students. And I wish to visit your college next time physically to interact with you more. And thank you again for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in, ma'am. We have had so much fun listening to you, and your journey has been so inspiring to all of us. So, thank you so much for taking out the time to be with us today. And we hope to have you physically next time in our college as well to hear more from you, more about your story, more about your journey. But we would really like to express our heartfelt gratitude to you. Thank you so much for joining in and taking out the time. This was a very insightful session, and I'm sure everyone here has learned something or the other. So, thank you so much again, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, and best wishes to the society, the Commerce Society, and the students of the college, the team of Motilal Nehru College, and keep organizing such events, such sessions physically online because they are very very important to give to the students to, and they definitely help them to excel in their life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.